we're back at it again. It's like Fred Duelist at a McDonald's. You know how we do. And Jarrod repping his school t-shirt.
Copper Canyon High School phys ed, as you can tell. Alright, so what do we got planned today, Mark?
We have another deck profile. He just finished. What is it?
That deck, hell yeah.
Oh shit, is that Divine Dragon Ragnarok, dude?
It's Metaphys Ragnarok. He's the real boy.
And this deck focuses on banishing, correct?
Yep. So it gets fucked by Lancia.
Valencia.
But every good deck gets fucked by Lancia. I like how as soon as we start recording, they all start talking at the same time. So we're just gonna get this started. 3 copies of Metaphys Ragnarok. He's your level 4. He's a Worm Tuner as well. When he's normally special summoned, you banish top 3 cards of your deck, and he gains 300 attack for each Metaphys card that you banish. And then if he does battle damage, you special summon a level 5 or higher Metaphys monster from your deck, but banish it during the next end phase. So, all of the other ones, except for, Metaphys Arm Dragon and Executor, who's not in here, both of those aren't in here, have effects when they're summoned by a Metaphys monster, so this is probably the easier way of doing it. But I like him, he's a good boy. He makes Vermilion Dragon deck that I don't have, so he's not in here. 3 copies of Metaphys Daedalus.
This is like a really, really broken card.
Yeah, it's a really good card. If he's banished in the standby phase, you can shuffle him back into your deck and then banish another Metaphys card. And if he's special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys monster, you banish all other face-up special summon monsters on the field. No problem.
Doesn't target.
Doesn't target. It's just he's a big boy. 2600.
Gets over Chaos Max.
Yep. 3 copies of Metaphys Nephthys. If it's special summoned by a Metaphys monster, you banish all set spell and traps on the field. And if it's banished, you can shuffle it into your deck during standby phase, and then add a Metaphys card from your deck to your hand except itself. Should explain here now because I haven't really said it. It's during the next standby phase after it's banished, so you can banish it even during your end phase, and then grab it during your standby phase. We'll move on to the last Metaphys monster, I believe. Yeah. The 2 copies of Tyrant Dragon. If this one is banished, you can shuffle it into your deck, and then special summon a Metaphys monster from your hand. What are you laughing at? Me doing this?
No.
And then if he's special summoned by a Metaphys monster, he is immune to traps and can attack twice. Attack monsters twice. So he's cool. He's a 2900 big meme boy. He's strong. To get on to some good support here, we got a Light Ray Grepher.
Why do you have this in here?
Okay, so unless you banish a light monster from your deck for pretty much free, you special summon it. It's Dark Grepher, but for lights, and it doesn't send to grave. You discard a level 5 or higher light monster, special summon it from your hand, and then you discard a light monster to banish a light monster from your deck. It's just simple. Even if you don't fucking need its effect to banish, you can get it out there and make a rank 4. Just sit on it. 2 copies of Necroface.
Oh,
so
best.
This is the ultimate meme tech. This is my turn 1 play. Do this as many times as possible in the duel and just banish your opponent's entire deck, and it's just the best. He's so fun. He's my favorite card ever. Eventually I will get First Ed Seekers in fucking like 40 years. So look forward to that video. So we got 2 copies of Honest. I just put these in here like 2 minutes ago. Sometimes you just need that little boost to get over it. It helps Ragnarok so you can actually summon something with his effect and help him not die. I would play 3, but I'm already over 40 cards because of these, so just do that. 1 copy of Snow because it's a Brilliant Fusion target. You can't play this deck. You can't play this card without Brilliant Fusion in this deck. That's what I wanted to say. If you play this and you don't play Brilliant Fusion, you're not playing the deck right. Because what do you do with this?
Say that again, Daddy.
Draw for turn. Summon Snow. And then we run Super Brick Squad Turbo. So you know this. If she just makes fucking Brilliant Fusion plays, and then you make a Decode Talker just for the fuck of it. Or if you have Dragon Mech, like a sensible person, you can do that too.
We tried.
We tried.
We tried.
It's okay.
Instead, we got double helix
Yeah,
instead.
that's fine. Moving on to the spells, we got 3 copies of Rhoda. So this gets you, it's gold psych. You banish a card from your deck face up. And during your second standby phase, after this card is activated, you add that card to your hand. So my favorite turn 1 play is Gold Sark. Banish Necrophist. Banish 5 cards. It's just the easiest way to hopefully gain advantage. I love it. It's the only card that actually makes this deck halfway playable, to be honest.
Especially now with the fact
And then we got 2 copies of Pot of Desires.
Ooh.
You have really no problem getting your banished stuff back because of Necroface. I mean, yeah, occasionally you will get fucked, and both Necrofaces will get banished. But, I mean, sometimes you just gotta go with the flow, man. Feel the flow. If anything, you side it out.
You gotta high five the sky.
High five the sky.
Rev it up.
Alright, so now we move on. 3 copies of Ace and Metaphys. Shout out to me only having 1. So this card is their other draw power card, their main draw power card of the archetype. So once per turn, and it's not a hard once per turn, so if you have 3 of these, you can do it 3 times. You banish a Metaphys card in your hand, draw 1 card. And it has effects depending on whose turn it was when a Metaphys monster is banished. If it's your turn, all monsters on the field except for Metaphys monsters lose 500 attack and defense. And if it's your opponent's turn, you change the battle positions of all monsters except Metaphys monsters.
Ooh.
So this card is spicy with Baguska because you can attack with that boy and just let it happen. And then you can just banish something during your opponent's turn and switch that boy to defense. Ooh. He's really cool. I love it. ASIM. Standard cards. Then we got 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion.
Is it really brilliant?
No. I love playing that and then the cards to search it, but I draw them all at the same time. Play 1 copy of Deep Fissure because you just banish all your monsters. So you just plus, and your opponent cannot get around it and it destroys hand traps because they can't activate. We round out the spell lineup with 2 copies of Metaphys Factor. So this lets you summon the big Metaphys cards without tributing. You just normal summon them and then they're banished during the next end phase. And then your opponent cannot respond to Metaphys monsters' effects activating at all. So I played it at 3, but I had to take it down because I ran out of room. And then I was just, right now, 42 cards, let's go. So onto the traps, play 2 copies of Storming, just because I needed some other kind of protection. Every once in a while, you will just get fucked and your board will die, because that is just the fate of a deck that has a gimmick like this. So it's nice to have a little something. 2 copies of Waterfall of Dragon Souls. So this either adds a worm monster from your deck to your hand, or you can send any number of worm monsters from your hand or field to the graveyard and draw a number of cards from the top of your deck. You don't have to show them to your opponent either. It's like Pot of Greed. Equal to the number of worms sent to the grave by this effect plus 1. So you can even just, send 0 and draw 1 card. I believe. Don't fuck me on rulings, guys. That's how I think it works. I wouldn't do that, guys. Alright. Move on to the last 2 cards of the deck, 2 Metaphys Dimension. Oh, this card's fucking insane. So if your opponent special summons a monster, you can target one of your banished Metaphys monsters and special summon it, but banish it during the end phase of the next turn. Already just tier 0 kind of recursion there. And then, while this card is on the field, if it's already on the field, if you banish a Metaphys card in your control, in your possession actually, you can target a card your opponent controls and banish it. So, even in your hand, it's just so stupid. You have something in your hand to banish for ASIM, then you just banish a card your opponent controls. This card is very, very mean and very poorly designed, but it's an archetype that will be forgotten in a week, so it's all good. So its main deck is 42 cards. I love this deck. It's the most fun I had playing a deck since my Dolce. Alright, so now we're going to move on to this extra deck. 1 copy of Seraphonite, because you're playing Brilliant Fusion, and Seraphonite gives you that extra normal summon that you never use. 2 copies of Omega, because getting your banish it back does help sometimes, and being an asshole to your opponent also helps. So stealing their cards is pretty cool. And we round out synchros with 1 copy of Angel Zare.
Why are you playing this?
Okay, so this card is like, this card is a Metaphys that came out in Judgment of the Light. He gains 100 attack for each of your opponent's banished cards, and during the standby phase of the turn after he was banished, you special summon it. He's already a 2800 beef boy. Level 7 synchro generic. This card is just, he's crazy, he's forgotten, and he makes this deck like tier turbo 7. It's great.
And then you would have a million dragon back.
Maybe. It depends. There's a lot of options. I'm playing kind of a meme extra deck because I just put it together right now. Got a Utopia package here with number C30 on Ghost Rare because I had it.
First dead.
I wouldn't say near mint, but I have
Lightly
all
played.
original prints of these motherfuckers here. But, you know, Utopia package, what's there to say? 1 copy of Dark Rebellion because you can make it. 1 copy of Aguska because you can make it, and there's memes with ASIM. I already talked about that. 1 Castel because it's funny.
It's original? Or no?
Yeah, it is. This is the one I've had since Sneak.
Oh.
That someone tried to buy off me for $30, and I probably should have done that, but whatever. We round out Exceeds with 1 copy of Leviair. You can use the Predaplants to make this and get back your Ragnaroks. It usually never comes up, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And we play a couple Link monsters. For Link 3s, I play a Gaia Saber and a Decode. This is probably the better one to make, but I make this in testing sometimes just because I wanted to, because I'm an asshole. 1 Akashic, because I love her. And it's a good Link too. It helps you get your shit back. And, you know, maybe occasionally deal with some dumb shit that your opponent has. And then we round it out with 1 Proxy Drag. I probably could have played Pib in here too, if I really wanted to. But I didn't feel like it. So that's that. 15 card extra deck, 42 card main deck. I love this deck. It's the best deck at the format. Beats Spirals, honestly.
Oh.
It's better than
From the
Spirals.
rumors, anything beats spirals right now.
Yeah. The rumors? Who's saying those rumors? Me? Because it's fucking true.
Alright guys, stay tuned. We do have Alter Guys coming up pretty soon. We just gotta finish the extra deck, waiting for stuff in the mail. And then we have Cubics V2 coming out.
Apparently. I don't know why.
And some other deck profiles. We got a lot on our plate. We're just waiting for cards to come in. So that would be Select for Red Duelist signing out.
Oh, hell yeah.